Welcome back. Second half action about to kick off as part of the RXFL. We had a very heated first half, and we have an upset brewing, folks. Devin Hester on the return. This is the RXFL. This is our relocation football Legends League. And my goodness, we had in the first half, we went into this one with the chatter, right? A lot of talk. Ty Law, Brian Dawkins talking a lot of noise. Well, they've backed it up. 3 interceptions in the first half on Joe Montana. A fight broke out in the first half between Bo Jackson, Brian Dawkins after an interception. A lot of talking, a lot of brawling. Bo Jackson trying to do his part. Ray Lewis and company. There's Ty Law getting in the face again. This is the RXFL. This is TV Sports 27. Hit the follow button if you're watching on YouTube. Look at this, Devin Hester. Hit the follow button if you're watching on Twitch, I should say. Subscribe and hit the thumbs up button on YouTube, and check out patreon.com/tvsports27. Thank you guys so much for being Patreons and for being a part of the channel here. Joe Montana looking for a better second half. Kellen Winslow, before he took the shot, stepped out of bounds. And the jaw-jacking is continuing, man. Are we going to see another fight? You know, the warnings have been thrown down. Referees, the officials, trying to get these guys all on the same page here. Montana gives it to Jackson. Huge opening. That's one of his best runs of the game since early on. Bo Jackson held to just 49 on the ground. And, ooh, I think, look at that, Jackson. I think Jackson and Ray Lewis had a little something to say to each other. So that's what's been happening in the first half now. Big hello to everyone joining us. Thank you guys tuning in. Wow, the chat picking up. Glad to have you guys here. Mr. Maple, I see you. Glad to have you aboard, my friend. Thank you for being a patron, one of our big Patreon supporters. We gave the Patreon shout-outs in the first half of this one. Montana dancing around. Oh, and he snuck that one past Ray Lewis. Well, this must have been one incredible Do You Believe in Miracles halftime speech, because Montana and company have come out second half, stormed down the field. Bo Jackson drags John Lynch, Ray Lewis into the end zone. It's a touchdown, and all of a sudden, folks, we're right back to a one-score game. Now, we had a good number of blowouts last week, right? And starting off here this week, a pretty tight contest. Yeah, touchdown in the chat. Again, we are streaming live, TV Sports 27 on Twitch, uploading on YouTube. We're getting a lot more views on YouTube doing it this way rather than streaming on YouTube. We are losing subscribers, though. I don't know why, because it's the same content, but either way. So the Cougars, while they've looked good in the first half, they also only have one offensive touchdown. So it could be a lot worse considering the 3 turnovers. One of them, the pick 6, could be a lot worse. And you saw a little part of it there before I just skimmed right past it. Joe Montana, I mean, he hasn't gotten hit that much, but Dan Marino has. And especially in the second quarter, Marino was getting hit a lot. And there is Michael Westbrook. Westbrook with a huge run. Check that. Brian Westbrook. I don't know where I got Michael Westbrook from. Brian Westbrook with a huge run. Could we see both teams coming out here in the second half with a big touchdown drive? What do you think? Brian Westbrook again, back to back. More talking, more John. A little rivalry starting here between Chicago and Columbus. See if we get them on the schedule next season. Good reception by Woods. Marino, 9 of 13. A $139 throwing here. And another first down, Cougars.
7 yards there and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be
both teams, having their best drive of the ball game. Starting off this third quarter, bouncing the outside, Westbrook. Maybe should have just kept rocking and rolling to the outside.
You go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now he's going to
oh, man.
Running back. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a
So Chicago, well, they stormed right down the field, but here comes your Aviator defense suddenly. Play fake. It hurt them last time. Marino to the corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Both feet. Marvin Harrison do not come down inbounds. I think a really good call by the referees here on Thursday night. Let's see. Oh, it's close. So the Cougars, they'll just take the field goal. Drew Bledsoe on to hold, and it is good for Robbie Gould. So we're back to a 2-score game. Oh, did I just hit? Whoops. Well, timeout was called. Well, let's see if that comes back to hurt the Cougars. Did not mean to do that. But you know what? Teams take timeouts all the time, so may have just been the thing.
This one taken just inside the 10. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here is the home side to take over on offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do. No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to.
You see Ty Law. He's breathing down. He got the smoke coming out of the nose. Oh, there's a sack. We talking about Ty Law Childress. It's a big man right there. Look at that big. Those are the big shoulder pads. You got the big numbers across the chest. That's a big guy. Getting the sack on Montana.
To the quarterback and put him on the ground, he's going to have to put a nickname after something like that, some big jelly or something like that. On second down now.
Bo running people over. Respectable 60-yard, but for Bo Jackson's standards, a little low for most running backs. That, great day, 60 yards in the third quarter. For Bo, you're thinking he should be in the 100s by now. Montana, can Taylor turn up field? He could not. It's Fuller knocking him out of bounds. And they got to punt this one away. So how about that? Sauerbrunn. Oh, look at this. A big chunk of yards. Johnson's going to get. Johnson. Austin Powers. Anyone? Johnson.
With a new set of downs. The offense back out there at the
another opportunity for the Cougars to kind of put the exclamation point on this ball game with this drive here. Marino's going to go deep, and Harrison makes the catch. Both feet down. 49 yards for the Chicago Cougars.
Pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one? That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch.
A fist pump? I think it might have been a punch. The way these guys have been scrapping. Brian Westbrook got yanked down by the horse collar. They getting violent. They hitting out there, folks. They're hitting. They're going at it.
Line to create space up front. Really
Oh,
well done.
Bednarik. Or no, that's Grantham. Pardon me.
Down he goes, full
So 3rd and 6. Can they hold him to another field goal? That'd be a big win for the Aviators. Incomplete. And they hold him again.
Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out and out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away.
Keeping Columbus alive is their defense, allowing the 2 field goals, but still only 1 offensive touchdown in this game for the Cougars. So that's a big win for this Aviator defense. If you take away the pick 6 and the field goals, we're tied right now at 7 apiece. Devin Hester is going to take this one up to the 35. And we are winding on down into quarter number 3.
So here is the home side to take over on offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Montana goes down again.
Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
I mean, he was trying to get rid of it. I mean, this is the one thing I don't like, and I don't like the other Maddens, which is why we stuck with this one. But this is my one annoyance with Madden 20. You get stuck in a sack animation, your Dunyan rings. Montana just throws that one on the run. Bo Jackson in contention with Ty Law. I'm surprised, you know, that you had the group down there. You had Law, you had Dawkins. Are the Cougars going to force another 3 and out here on the Aviators? And again, Montana gets sucked into a sack animation. Kyle Fuller. Now, do they, it's 4th and 25. I was about to say, do they have to go for it here? Because it's a 2-possession game. Cougars are going to take a lot of time off the clock with this next possession. But that ball should be gone. Man, these sack animations suck in this game. Because there's no reason that should be a sack. That ball should be gone. Now, what a long windup. But them's the ropes. That's the cards we deal with here. And that's the big question. Once we get done with Season 1 here, you know, do we continue Season 2 with these same rosters, meaning we would still play with Madden 20? Once we buy the new Madden, do we kind of redraft everybody and maybe we kind of remember what teams some of the players are on and kind of try to do our best, but try to do that for 32 teams? I don't know. We'll have to see. Marino going deep. Joe Horn. Oh, that one pushed out of bounds. The ball just knocked away. So we're in the 4th, and surprisingly, I don't know, they're throwing the ball here rather than try to run and take the time off the clock, but that's going to be a big first down. Richard Sherman rendered ineffective onto that play. And now we got a little clock chewing action coming up here for the Chi-Town Cougars. Draw play out of the gun to Westbrook, who's had a really good second half here. 71 yards on the ground. The worst rushing offense in the entire league. But look at him today. Almost 100 yards rushing. They're going to go with a similar play out of the gun. Westbrook. Touchdown. And that may have just won the game on the road for the Chicago Cougars. The 30th ranked Cougars at 3-8 are going to keep their postseason dreams alive with that win. Assuming they hang on. Now, it is Joe Montana. Oh, they want us to go for it here. I don't even know what play we're doing. I thought we were doing a field goal. Okay, we're going for it. We're going to run it. And they got it, yes. So it's a 21-point game. Nothing is ever for sure. Like Sting would say, the stinger. The only thing for certain is that nothing's for sure. It's showtime, folks. The famous final words on the last Monday Nitro. Oh, Devin Hester, 2 guys fell down. Hester was about to turn up field and burn everybody. Wow. So what a loss means here for the Aviators. The win for the Cougars, meaning their season stays alive. A loss here for the Aviators, should the score hold up, is going to mean the Desperados get a game up here in the East. If they get a win, now they got a tough game themselves because they got a division battle. They're going up against the Golden Eagles, Mexico City. So that's a tough game right there in and of itself. But the Desperados win with this Aviators loss. No, that's not a division game. I'm thinking the Chicago teams here. Montana to Bo Jackson. Montana not giving up. And remember, with our onside kicks, to try to make it more fair, because I think they're almost impossible in Madden, we line the other team up in regular field kickoff position.
Not yet. Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Ooh. Was that Fuller who got in there?
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
Yeah, Montana's gotten knocked around. And maybe this Cougar defense needs to keep talking. I know, again, you're looking at an 8-loss team talking all this noise, but it worked for them. This has been the best we've seen this Cougar defense all season here.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Aviators moving, but time is a tick-tock ticking off the clock now. Intercepted. 4th interception. Ty Law gets number 2. Dawkins gets 2. The talk, the chatter, the noise, and the Chicago Cougars embarrass number 11 on their home turf. An upset. A huge upset. Unbelievable. And now we go into clock chewing mode here. Wow, how about this on Thursday night? Now, our next game in the RXFL, as we go to our Sunday battle, it's going to be a big one. You're looking at the bottom of the screen, you're seeing the games that are coming up. I mean, I kind of almost want to do that. I'm almost leaning towards, I know our rule is that we do 2 early games, or 1 early game, 1 afternoon game. The more I look at the bottom of the screen, I think that Armadillo Wolverines game is one that we got to do. I think we had talked about doing the Firebirds game. I'd even have to go back and look. I don't remember who we committed to, but I think I'm looking at the bottom there, and I think those are going to be your 2 best games. Maybe we flex one. We can say one is an afternoon game, huh? So we got the Monarchs and the Redwoods. Oh, that was a big... Joe Horn had a big game in relief for the Cougars. So I think we switch it up. I'm making the call right now. People that didn't watch this, they'd be confused, whatever. But I think that's the way we go. If you look at the standings, and of course as we get down the stretch, a game like Salt Lake in New England, that's going to mean a lot more, even though they're both with, losing records. A team that might make or break the postseason as we get into week 15, 16, 17. We're going to start wanting to look at some of those teams a little bit. But Mexico City and Dallas is a game you're going to get coming up. I think that might even be our Patreon game. Because remember, the Sunday night game is a Patreon exclusive. And Westbrook. But London and Sacramento is a game you're definitely getting. I think we go with Chicago and Austin. And then, of course, you will be getting the Sunday night game, which is going to be Dallas and Mexico City, a Patreon one. So 1 and 2, we got some big-time Patreons. The Sunday night football games, Patreon exclusives. And then your Monday night game, the Dirty Birds and the Lancers, in a pretty important game for those 2 teams, too. So this one is going to wind down to the 2-minute warning.
Just 2 minutes remaining here.
It's a 21-point game, and now we'll start to see a couple of first downs given up. We're going to see if Columbus wants to try to stop the clock at all. Oh, where's the edge? Where's the edge? Timeout called by the Aviators.
With 1:55 remaining. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
7th play here. The draw play, and that is your game. Done. 134 on the ground for Brian Westbrook. This team, as we saw it earlier, I mean, they're ranked number 32, the worst team in the league for rushing. They ran it down their throats today, and Westbrook just continuing right now. Unbelievable. Yeah, that Oklahoma City-Atlanta game, you're looking at two teams floating around 500. That's a pretty big game when it comes to playoff positioning. Tom Brady versus Deshaun Watson, and this is going to be your final play here. And you can call this a victory. A huge upset for the Chicago Cougars. Can you believe this? The fans pouring out of the stadium here in Columbus. So number 30 gets the win. Chicago's playoff hopes stay alive with this victory, and Columbus now has to watch. They're going to be logging on. They're going to be subscribing.
It's a victory for our visitors, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
They are going to be signing up patreon.com/TBSports27 to see who is going to win between the Desperados and the Mexico City Golden Eagles. Man, not a lot of yards offensively, but it's the Cougars that get the victory in the end. And the Aviators now got to continue this fight. Montana, who had 3 pretty miserable seasons with Salt Lake City after a really good season to begin his Revolution football career. Marino goes for 224. Neither quarterback, the hype was around Marino versus Montana. No touchdowns thrown either way. Givens, he had the big injury. Joe Horn came in and did his thing. But it's a victory for the Cougars, folks. When we come back, our XFL action, it is going to be the London Monarchs and the Sacramento Redwoods going toe-to-toe. Thank you guys for tuning in. Big upset in the making, but we got a lot more coming your way in the RXFL.